Welcome to Auto Car Service, your go-to channel for everything automotive. Whether it's the latest car reviews, classic restorations, or deep dives into legendary vehicles, we've got you covered. If you're a car enthusiast, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit an absolute legend in the Indian SUV scene, the Mahindra Armada. A vehicle that set the stage for some of the most iconic SUVs in India. If you love rugged off-roaders with a touch of history, stay tuned. In the late A80s and early A90s, SUVs weren't as common on Indian roads as they are today, but Mahindra saw an opportunity. They took their expertise in rugged utility vehicles and introduced the Mahindra Armada in 1993. It was one of the first SUVs in India that balanced utility and comfort, making it a hit among government officials, business owners, and adventure seekers alike. Unlike its predecessor, the Mahindra MM540, the Armada was designed to be more refined and passenger-friendly, without compromising the tough DNA Mahindra was known for. This was a vehicle that could handle the worst roads while still giving you a comfortable drive. At first glance, the Mahindra Armada had a boxy, utilitarian design, heavily inspired by the Jeep lineage, but this wasn't just another stripped-down off-roader. It had a distinct road presence. The flat front grille, rectangular headlights, and bold fender flares gave it a commanding look. Compared to other SUVs of its time, like the Tata Sierra or Maruti Gypsy, the Armada stood out because it wasn't just about ruggedness, it also offered space and practicality. The long wheelbase meant it had a proper four-door layout, making it one of the first Mahindra SUVs to provide a family-friendly setup. The steel body panels and high ground clearance made it look and feel tough, and if you owned one back in the day, you probably remember how heads would turn when this beast rolled down the road. Under the hood, the Armada came with a 2.1-liter Peugeot XD3P diesel engine that produced around 62 horsepower and 120 Nm of torque. Now, these numbers might not sound impressive by today's standards, but in the early A90s, this was more than enough to dominate rough terrain. It had a 5-speed manual transmission, which gave it decent drivability, especially on highways. While it wasn't built for speed, the Armada had exceptional low-end torque, making it perfect for off-roading and carrying heavy loads. One of the biggest strengths of the Armada was its body-on-frame chassis. This setup made it extremely durable, capable of handling potholes, broken roads, and even no roads at all. For people living in rural areas or needing a reliable workhorse, the Armada was a game-changer. Now, if you've ever sat inside an MM540 or a Willys Jeep, you know they were built purely for functionality, not comfort. But the Mahindra Armada changed that. It had one of the most comfortable cabins for an Indian SUV of its time. The Armada featured fabric-upholstered seats, a dashboard with proper instrument clusters, and a steering wheel that didn't feel like it came from a tractor. It even had AC and power steering in higher trims, which was a big deal back in the day. The rear seat was designed to accommodate passengers more comfortably compared to its predecessors. Unlike the Gypsy, which had side-facing jump seats, the Armada had a proper bench seat, making it a better choice for families. Storage was also a highlight of the Armada. Had a spacious boot and plenty of cabin space to store tools, luggage, or anything else you needed for long trips. The Mahindra Armada wasn't just another SUV, it was a pioneer. It bridged the gap between rugged off-roaders and modern lifestyle SUVs. Here's why it became a legend. Versatility. Whether you were a government official, a businessman, or an off-roading enthusiast, the Armada could fit your needs. Reliability. The diesel engine and ladder frame chassis made it an extremely durable vehicle, capable of lasting decades with proper care. The birth of the Scorpio. The Armada's success led Mahindra to develop its next big SUV, the Scorpio, which changed the Indian SUV market forever. Classic appeal. Even today, Spotting a well-maintained Armada on the road brings back a wave of nostalgia for old-school SUV lovers. So, how does the Mahindra Armada compare to today's SUVs? Well, it's not as refined or feature-packed, but it has something modern SUVs often lack: a raw, mechanical toughness. Unlike today's SUVs, which come loaded with electronics, drive modes, and automatic transmissions, the Armada was all about pure mechanical engagement. No fancy screens, no complicated software, just a rugged machine built to go anywhere. Yes, modern SUVs are faster, safer, and more efficient. But the Armada had character. It had that old-school charm that made driving an adventure. If you're lucky enough to find a Mahindra Armada in good condition, you're looking at a future classic. Restored Armadas are becoming rare and valuable, especially among vintage SUV collectors. Parts availability can be a challenge, but thanks to Mahindra's long history, many components can still be sourced or adapted from newer models. And for those who love custom builds, the Armada is a great platform for modifications. So whether it's a 4x4 conversion, a modern engine swap, or a complete interior overhaul, the Mahindra Armada may not have been the fastest or most luxurious SUV of its time, but it set the foundation for what Mahindra would become in the SUV market. It paved the way for the Scorpio, Bolero, and Thar, proving that an Indian company could make world-class off-roaders. If you ever get a chance to drive or own an Armada, consider yourself lucky. You're experiencing a piece of Indian automotive history, a legend that refuses to be forgotten. That's it for today's deep dive into the Mahindra Armada. What do you think about this legendary SUV? Do you have any memories of riding in one? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Auto Car Service for more exciting automotive content. Until next time, drive safe and stay passionate about cars.